what are the plans in place to create an enabling environment for private sector players within the water sector in line with the WASIC theme of conference? Because this year there's a theme. I think we'll shed more light on that. But of course, what are the plans in place to create an enabling environment?
Thank you, Brian. I think as a country, we've made great strides towards enabling and creating favorable climate for private sector. And this is found in the separation of various roles, policy formulation, services provision, and undertaking investments. It is properly legislated that and the roles are defined in a way that you can find your space if you are an investor, and also safeguarding your investments in that water sector space. So the environment is presently favorable for all private sector players, be it the communities, development partners, or private investors, because the sector has the requisite policies, necessary registration, and regulations that guide how the sector plays. And with that, then we find that whenever you want to invest, all the necessary instruments are in place. Yeah.
As we get into WASIC now, how do we make sure that we get the intended outcomes, and what are those intended outcomes? What do we hope to gain out of this investor conference? I'll have that question answered by CEO Willis.
Thanks very much, Mariam, for that question, because that is the main purpose why we are organizing the conference.
Yes.
When you talk about outcomes, it means the long-term results that you intend to achieve for any particular activity. My colleague Ruth mentioned that we have NAWASIP. NAWASIP is a National Water and Sanitation Investment Plan, which the ministry, of course the government, has outlined what it requires to have and achieve the investments which are required to give the services to the people, and this comes to almost 1 trillion. This investors conference is aimed at bringing in significant investment. So in programmatic language, you would say increased investment in the sector. So that is one of the main outcomes that we expect, because there are international investors, there are donors or development partners that we expect to participate. Secondly, we expect some innovations, technology transfer. Different countries, different people will be coming, and this is likely to bring various innovations, technologies in the water sector that in one perspective will be an investment to somebody, but on another perspective will be increasing the efficiency in which we operate. And normally when efficiencies are realized, then there is cost savings and increased investment. And also we have the issue of building relationships, forming partnerships, which is good for the long-term investment in the sector. So there could be short-term, there will be B2B, business to business from various parties, and I think these are very critical to make sure that the results of the investment conference will be good for the country.
Madam GM, I know you've already invited Mariam and I, but of course we'd like you to extend the invitation for WASIC. The conference is inviting a number of people who are key players in that space, the water sector, but how best can I participate as an individual or someone who has just keen interest in the same?
Okay, so thank you so much, Brian. So at WASIC, we are looking at all stakeholders and practitioners in the water and sanitation sector. So we are looking to attract government institutions, both national and county, also foreign governments. Mostly we talk about development partners and foreign missions. We are looking to attract, of course, investors, both local and international. We are looking at financial institutions. They could also be investors, or they could just be those who can can provide financing to the practitioners in the sector. Of course, the practitioners, all the institutions like that provide water, that provide sanitation, that work in the space of water harvesting and storage, that work in the space of sanitation, that work also in the space of the operational efficiency, all the practitioners, and private sector as well. Not just for financing, but also, there is private sector that is actually supplying water and sanitation in the country.
Yes.
Civil society organizations, and even community groups. So WASIC is open to anybody who feels that they have a stake in water and sanitation provision. The overall theme is accelerating investments for sustainable access to water and sanitation for all. So anybody who falls within that space is welcome to WASIC. So how to register? We have a website, www.wasic-invest.ke. I can repeat that,
Yes.
www.wasic-invest.ke. So if you go to the website, you click on register, and then you'll see the various options for registration. So you can register as a delegate, where you just come and interact with the sessions. You can register as an exhibitor as well, where you come and exhibit what you're doing, and then you get the opportunity to meet all the various partners and investors who are in WASIC. So the event will be held at KICC, Nairobi, on 6th to 8th March 2024. So we are actually just like 3 weeks away from WASIC, and we look forward to seeing all of you, including yourself, Brian, and Mariam.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the invite. I
Yes.
don't know, just to touch on what to expect. I think the CEOs should also tell us what should we expect. Engineer, tukifika pale, what have you prepared for us?
What we've prepared is to showcase the requisite opportunities that exist in the water and sanitation space, and tailor-made to various sectors of investors. There are those who have capacity to finance huge turnkey projects, community projects, and also provide the frameworks, the environment that prevails around the country, and also demonstrate the returns on the investments that exist.
Willis, are you excited for this?
Yes, sure. Brian, we will have high-level discussions. If you want to hear what our ministers, what our PSS have, and we expect high-level representation, and that will basically define the official government statements on the situation, how the PPP should work. And also, just having the opportunity to see and participate in convener sessions. There are so many people who have applied to convene sessions on topical issues. So in other sense, if you want knowledge, you will have a lot of knowledge-based increment. You will know so much in the water sector by participating, aside from the exhibitions that engineer has talked about.
And of course, there will be entertainment and food, and that's why I'll be there. Thank you so much for creating time to the CEOs, and of course, Madam GM, thank you so much for creating time to just talk to us. It's been really an in-depth conversation and getting to understand the water and sanitation sector. We hope that the people who are listening to us right now have received their official invite to WASIC conference. That is on www.wasic-invest.ke. Twende pale. Road to universal water access continues. It doesn't start now. It continues.
It continues,
actually.
right? Easy as that. Uchaniwape, what we call here makofi ka Olomide. Which is just a way to appreciate you. Thank you so much for spending your morning with us and for the amazing work you're doing for water and sanitation for all Kenyans.